Hello, so we are back, and this time we have something different to repair. So this is a PlayStation 5, but no, the HDMI port is fine. So this one is dead. So we have somehow to fix it. Let's plug the power and see what it's doing. If you ask me, I have no experience with PlayStation 5, so we're gonna figure it out. With general electronic knowledge. So plug in the charger. Yeah, so the power supply is good. You have to pay attention on the spark when you plug the cable. So I know the high voltage of the power supply is good. And this is an important part of the diagnostic. Pressing the power button, nothing happened. Nah, the console is not coming on, it's not doing anything. No. Check that, no lights, nothing. Dead. Dead. But we know the power supply seems to be good. Seems. Doesn't necessarily means it's good, means the high voltage doesn't have like a blow up fuse or blow up MOSFETs. The high voltage side of the power supply. Let me open the console and let's have a look inside. You know what, based on the screws, this has been open already. So let's see what we can find inside. And the assembly, it's out. Now this is quite strange for me because I never fixed PlayStation 5 before. Now why this power supply has only two outputs? One output, sorry, 2 pins. The previous PlayStation, they have a cable where actually the board, it will start the power supply. But if you have like a single output, there is no communication between the board and the power supply. That means we should always have voltage here. Let me plug the power and check that. Plug in the power cable, and here we have 12 volts. So the power supply is good. I mean, this is a big step forward for PlayStation. So basically, the power supply is always on. You cannot turn off the power supply by switching off the console. Unexpected. And we have access to the motherboard. Let me take out the power button. Okay, so we have the power button here. Now, in order to see what is happening with the board, we have to supply power from the power supply. Because I want to see the current consumption. So it's 12 volts. And it's taking no current at all. Let's press the power button. Pressing the power button and nothing is doing. Dead, you can see. I mean, it's not reading the power button. Can be something wrong with the power button? Yeah, it can be. So we should have voltage on the power button cable. Let me plug the original power supply and let's check the voltage on the power button. So the power supply is plugged. Plug in the power. Good. Now on the power supply we should have 12 volts, and we do have 12 volts. Let's see the power on the power button. So the power button is here, and we have nothing and nothing. My multimeter is good. We have no voltage on the power button. That means the LDO power supply is not providing voltage to actually the startup chip. I have no idea where is the startup chip, but I'm just saying the way it works, the voltage from the power button is coming from a resistor which is connected to 3.3. You know what? Let's check here on the board. Let's see if we have any voltage. No, we have no voltage at the connector. No, nothing. So it's not like some issue with the cable. Okay, on this point, we are focusing on finding the startup chip. We don't know where it is and what it is. And the power supply which is supplying the voltage to this chip. And the board is out. Yeah, we do have liquid metal here. Pour applicated. So check here, you can see on the middle actually is no liquid metal. If the liquid metal is not bonded, it will not send the heat. I mean, it will be like a port heat transfer. I'm assuming, I'm assuming this is the startup chip. What do you think? Let's have a look under the microscope. Yeah, this is quite a simple board. What is that? What is that? That's liquid metal? Because liquid metal, it will short the board. So if we are checking the capacitor, checking the capacitor, shorted. Check that. Check on the screen. 0 ohms. So yeah. This is a reason why this is not working. Let me check the fuse. The fuse is burned. I'm assuming this is a fuse. Yeah, so if the capacitor got shorted, then the fuse got burned. Yeah. Interesting fault. Hey, how we are taking the liquid metal out? Okay, that's a good question. I think I want the liquid metal bonded with solder in order to take it out. Then we can suck it with weak wire. So we are bonding the liquid metal with the solder. And obviously, every time you bond things, you will create an alloy. Like 180 degree solder with liquid metal will probably be like 80 degrees solder. So you can see now it's solid. You can see it. So actually now we can take it out with weak wire. Every time when you mix alloys, like I'm using 180 degree solder wire. So if I'm using on already solder from the board, like here, it will not be 180 degrees. It will be like 230, 240. Because you mix them together. Actually, I can take that out. 1 second. We can take the capacitor out. Yeah, we can take the capacitor out. And we can bond the rest of the liquid metal. Like on this case. Yeah. And now we are fine. Yeah, we need a capacitor here. No, actually, we don't need a capacitor. No capacitor, no shot a capacitor, right? Remember, the liquid metal was on a capacitor. Actually, we don't have another capacitor here. Or we have. No, we don't. No, we don't have another capacitor. Okay, let me grab a capacitor. Capacitor. Here we have a bunch of capacitors on this board. Capacitor is out. And we are moving the capacitor here. Wait, actually this capacitor is bigger than the original one. Oh lol, we have now to charge extra. The capacitor, it is soldered on a place. Now the fuse, I'm not sure if that's a fuse, but I'm like 90% sure that's a fuse. This one. So what I will do, yeah, you know what? I forgot actually the liquid metal. It will mess up with your tip. So we have to use like a tip cleaner. Yeah. Forgot that. So take in consideration your solder iron tip has to be cleaned after. Okay, now we are fine. So we are soldering a proper calibrated fuse here. Let's check just to be sure everything is fine. Yeah, our fuse is okay. Our capacitor is soldered. I can't see liquid metal there. Checking from here to here, and it's not short anymore. I think we are fine. So you see, remember on the yesterday video when I said, because even the Xbox has liquid metal, replace the HDMI port without taking out the board, so you don't risk something like that. Like just a small part of the liquid metal goes on the LDO power supply. Otherwise, the board is looking fine. I can't see liquid metal anywhere else. Can we test it? Yeah, we can test it. So coming with the power supply, 12 volts. We have ground. We have plus somewhere. Okay, no, here. And check there. It's taking 300 milliamps. Yeah, it's a different story compared with the last time. So 300 milliamps, pressing the power button, and it's going to 0. Okay, I don't like that. And it's no current limit. Why 300 milliamps? 300 milliamps for a standby board, it's a lot. Let me grab the thermal camera. And let me see, we are missing something. Why 300 milliamps? I mean, it will not surprise me to be like liquid metal under some chip here. So thermal camera is taking like 200 milliamps, 270, and that chip is getting hot. Here the startup chip, I believe it's on. That power supply with the capacitor is on. Not sure what this chip it is. For me, it looks like some kind of chipset. But the board is looking normal. Nothing is very hot. So the warm things are this, and this. Not sure about this one. Do you think it's some liquid metal under? It is normal to be like, okay, let's rebound the CPU. So on the CPU, we have to bond the thermal, the liquid metal again with the capsule. And we did it. Check here. Yeah, you can see now it's bonded. Not sure what should I say, because here we need some cable. It's a long cable here, flex cable. Let me just put it a little bit back together and test, just to be sure this board is still faulty. Yeah. Wait a second, but here is a lot of liquid metal. Check that. Here is liquid metal. Oh lol. Actually, liquid metal bonded with the metal. liquid metal. I mean, if it's here, it's fine. I don't want it on a board, that's all. I mean, liquid metal is fantastic. It's nothing better than liquid metal. The Honeywell pad, far away from liquid metal. But you have to pay attention on working with liquid metal. Plug in the power. And let's press the power button. Pressing the power button, nothing happened. You heard a beep? It was beeping. We have no light here, but I'm assuming the light is on a different flex cable. Let's put the thingy back and test it. I mean, we can have some weird protection, like because there's no fan there. I mean, everything is back in place. Let's plug the power. Plug in the power. Power is plugged. Pressing the power button. It's on! I can't believe. Check that. The fan is spinning. We have the blue light. Let's plug the HDMI from the microscope. HDMI cable. HDMI is plugged. And microscope. Let's wait. We need to see the picture. And we have no picture. Why we have no picture? Do you think actually the HDMI is damaged? Yeah, no picture. Why we have no picture? Okay, you know what? After I spent probably like 20 minutes tested the console on a different monitor, I realized it's an issue with my capture card and the copyright protection. But check that. Check on the screen. You can see. So for a short period of time, you can see actually the picture output from the PlayStation. Yeah, so it is working. If I turn off the HDCP protection, then it's not working at all for some reason. Now everything is working fine. I'm happy I helped the customer. Did I know that the customer actually play with the liquid metal? Yeah, I did know. So on the customer email, he said the console was working fine during the gameplay, went off during gameplay, suspected overheating, but PS5 is very clean inside. I couldn't find liquid metal big enough for it. I just bought one tube and it may be not enough for it. I believe people are a little bit confused about how much liquid metal you need. Now, I made a video a while ago applying liquid metal. So check there. You just need a small bulb of liquid metal. That's all what you need. Okay, and you spread it on the capsule. In this case, the CPU, because you will come with a heatsink. Yeah. And any excess of liquid metal, when you put the heatsink, it will comes out. You have hydraulic pressure. Nothing it will hold up against hydraulic pressure. So you need a very tiny layer of liquid metal. As you can see here. Here it's a lot. I put too much. But I'm taking the liquid metal from the CPU and I'm moving the liquid metal to the GPU. I'm just trying to explain even that is too much. And now you'll say, yes, Sorin, but manufacturer, he put a lot there. Yeah, I know. The manufacturer idea is, okay, if something goes wrong with the liquid metal from the top of the chip, and we seen here, when we open the console, was like a black spot on the middle. That's mean no heat transfer there. Then, let's have heat transfer on the size of the chip, because the chip is tall, yeah? The chip is tall, and the manufacturer put liquid metal around the chip just to have like a thermal transfer in case something goes wrong on the top of the capsule. But yeah, do a test. Remove all the liquid metal and you just use a tiny layer on the top of the CPU, GPU. Xbox, PlayStation, doesn't matter, just a tiny layer on the top, and that's all. And you will see no difference. You will see no thermal difference compared with how it's coming originally and with a tiny layer of liquid metal. No difference. That's why really people are confused and they are using a lot of liquid metal and basically with no improvement. Okay, I'm not gonna keep you here. I will put it all back together. I just hopefully this video it will be helpful for you. You know, the way how you diagnose, how you how you check the voltage, power supply. We see now where is the LDO. I believe that's a LDO power supply. Yeah, it is. Where is the LDO power supply for the startup chip? Yeah. So I will say thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you like the video, and see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, if you find my content being helpful, don't forget you can support this channel by pressing the join button, and you can get instantly access to our members only cool collection and Discord private channels for support with your repairs. Also, you can have a look on our United Kingdom eBay, where you can find some cool and unique products, United States eBay store, or our Patreon page. Thank you.